about?
Um, so I want to, before we run out of time, I really want to talk about this gala. And so this is going to be the first AbleGamers Gala, which is apparently a custom-built virtual world for the charities. So what are some things that people can look forward to coming up in April? Well, it is April, the 22nd.
Coming up in April, yep. April 22nd, we are doing the first annual virtual AbleGamers Gala, and it is going to be, think Stardew Valley meets Zoom. It's going to be a atmosphere that's 2D isometric video game like Stardew, but it has cameras and microphones like this call, so we're able to see each other, talk to each other, and has proximity chat so that as you and I walk towards each other, away from each other, we gradually hear each other more or distant, depending, if I make a horrible joke, Tess can be like, I'm done, and walk away, which I wouldn't blame at all. So that kind of cool, atmosphere, that's kind of what we're going for. And what we did is we basically reached out to our streamer friends and said, hey, listen, charities hit you up all the time to do streams for us to raise money for us. And I know financially, especially during a recession, that's hard. That's real hard. And I will be asking that of you at some point this year. But for this, will you just come and hang out and be at this event and participate? And then what we're going to do is we're going to give the world a chance. Do you want to come meet your favorite creator? Well, for $25 donation, you get a ticket to this virtual event, and you can come say hi to Moisgrim, who's with Markiplier, or you could go say hi to Little Simsy, the queen of the Sims world. You could go say hi to Bruce Green, or Alana Pierce, or whoever else ends up showing up there that people know and love. And then for that donation, which then goes to help people with disabilities, you got to say hi to your favorite content creator. So that was the idea behind that, and then we just kind of added on cool things like there'll be a world premiere video showing exactly how peer counseling works for AbleGamers, and it's going to be, I guarantee you both are going to cry because I did. It's an amazing video. It's the perspective of an actual person who has gone through the program, and it's something we have never shown before. And it focuses on the person, and that's what we're all about now. We're not about trying to solve millions of cases. We're all about one at a time changing people's lives, right? And so that's what people pay money for. I think that's what everybody donates for, is they want to change lives. So that's what this gala is all about, is giving those opportunities. We have some cool swag opportunities, merchandise that you can buy to support. And all of that information is available at ablegamers.org/gala. But the event itself is just an opportunity to come together and just celebrate what it is to be a gamer. And if you have a disability, then cool. And if you don't, then maybe you can learn something.
Yeah.
That's dope. That's dope.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So thinking about that, when I first heard about it, I thought this was a cool idea because of the fact that it allows people to come. One of the big things with the pandemic, in certain cases, it kind of made things a little bit more even for folks to go to conferences and stuff like that. Since, like, for instance, E3 kind of shut down, so we had everything online. We had the Summer of Games. And so if you were covering games, but you couldn't afford to go to E3, that was where my mind went. Like, I can't fly to LA, then I can watch it online now. But then also, if you're disabled, there's having to fly there, but then also having to get, being able to get in and out of the convention floor, or whatever the case may be, could be a struggle as well. And now that's also online, so that kind of bridges the gap there. So in this case, it makes sense with AbleGamers to actually have things online. People can kind of come and virtually be there and hang out with folks. I thought that was a really, really dope idea. Are there any features within the virtual world that you've created, similarly to what we were talking about with Fortnite, that would help someone who would maybe be hearing impaired or visually impaired or something like that?
Yeah, we're hoping that we've made it as accessible as we can for the first go-around. Now, it's definitely not going to be perfect, but there's some pretty cool features built into the system. For example, when you get into the gala, you can right-click on someone and follow them around. So if you have physical disability where moving the mouse or the keyboard is hard for you, or stamina taxing, or if you are blind and you just can't visually see maybe you need a bigger screen. Maybe staring at that screen for a while hurts your eyeballs. There are lots of scenarios where different disabilities could be affected by having to stare at the same spot in the screen for a long time, because there's not a lot that changes in this environment. It's very much focused on just the interaction points, and the background is just kind of pretty graphics. That kind of ability for someone else to lead you around, but also just be a part of the group, is great. It's an opportunity for people to enjoy the environment in the way that they see fit. And so we're also going to have an ASL translator on site for anybody who might need that, in addition to lip reading on the videos. The videos are a little smaller, so we wanted to have a little addition to that. And captioning where we can, but it's a live event, so there's not a lot of video content, so there's not a lot of captioning. So I think a lot of it is going to be to just introducing people to an idea. So the wild and woolly thing I'm discovering about doing something that hasn't been done before is that it can be really cool, and everyone who I've introduced the idea to has had the same reaction of, oh, this is really cool, but it requires a little explaining. And it requires a little bit of education on how the thing will actually work. So, if I say, hey, let's go to PAX, instantly what all I'm saying we should be doing. And the big ball of wax that I'm proposing that we go do, which is expensive and it's time consuming and it's taxing. And, but with this, it's essentially, hey, come to this virtual event for a little while. And when you're tired, bail. Until then, have some fun. Listen to the headliners. There's good music, good times, good people, And so just getting people to kind of understand that new thing that you're building. The adoption rate is something that we're finding has been something that's taking some effort to get people to understand that it's just something anybody can participate in. So we hope that it kind of is that good alternative. It's a little more accessible than, for example, I've had to ride up and down on freight elevators at PAX because the regular elevators were shut down because the police were scared people would try to get in for free. So, here's here's me with my friend Craig riding down with the chicken nuggets down to the first floor of PAX. So, the fun things about being wheelchair disabled. There's all kinds of things like that we're, you get to avoid. But honestly, for able-bodied and disabled people alone, I think you hit the nail on the head there. It's the expense, right? It's like you go to GDC, that's $7,000. I don't care who you are, that's a lot of money. You go to PAX, that's $5,000 at least in Boston in March, So even if you go on the cheap, you're talking maybe $1,000 if you can room with somebody who splits the bill with you. It's still expensive. So this is $25. So we're hoping it's not going to be a PAX. It's never going to be a huge event like that. It's just going to be something small that's good for the industry and the disability community. But I think that accessibility will really come in handy.
Well, see, you. You say that now, and we were talking a little earlier about you guys started in one area and then you kind of blew up. So I'm just saying, we're gonna put a mark here. When he said, hey, it's just a small thing. We're not doing a whole lot, and then before you know it, it's yeah.
It would not be the first time I've ate those words. So
right. Goodness.
That's what happens, though.
Yeah, I'm gonna play this back too and be like, hey, you remember when you said this one thing? I'm just gonna play that back.
I hate Past Me. Past Me is the biggest jerk, and I'm not a fan of Past Me.